then you hit empty nest, and it depends on what you've done through those other seasons. Once you hit the empty nest, you look at them like, who are you? Because you don't put so much focus on the children, getting them and raising them up, and they done took 100% of your pie. You laugh. 100% of the pie, and then when they're gone, ain't no pie left. Ain't that sweet about your relationship? Okay. And then even after that, if you get that right, then you go through seasons, and some of you all can relate to that. And that's why you can never stop studying your spouse. You got to go through seasons when your parents are getting elder. That's a whole different season of life right there. Okay. When there's loss, deep loss that's going in your family. So you gotta still continue to learn about how your spouse grieve in order to help them out, and vice versa. You go through so many different seasons. Then you gotta go through a season where when one of you sick. That's a whole different season of life right there. That's why you can never put your pen and paper up and say, I got it. This is never finished. And then so you got to study the ins and outs of sickness. And then you go through seasons where things pull on the nerves. Where third parties may try to come in, or somebody's flirting with your mate too hard. Or maybe you and saw something. Then you got to go through seasons where your body changed. I used to be so athletic looking. You got to talk about me. You got to be careful in there right here. You got to walk careful right now. I remember I was so athletic and tall. I remember as a young man looking in the mirror and saying, nah, I never get a belly. I remember looking in the bathroom at my stomach, I can't put no fat on this. Life brings about a change, Doctor. Life brings about a change. I remember eating whatever I want to, when I want to, trying to. I said, I'm trying to pick up the way I can't pick up now. I remember when all my hair was black. And now I wonder, I didn't know gray hair grow everywhere. I was shocked. I'm like, Zach, do y'all need to just listen to whatever? I'm just saying. I know the men laughing, but ladies. My God. And in order to be good teammates, when teammates practice together, they go through stress together. Mm-hmm. They make a lot of mistakes. And they have to, with teammates, you have to learn each other's movements and thoughts, especially playing basketball. You got to be able to know where your teammate is with your eyes closed. Mm-hmm. If you want to be very effective. Mm-hmm. You got to know when you going down on the break, you already know who's going to be cutting to the hoop and who's going to be sitting at the three-point line. You already know because you've been practicing with your teammate and you saw who was running with you and you know their tendencies. You know what they do best, and you know that this one's going to drift. Right. And then you know your lazy one, he going to be on the 4th spot, he going to be on the slow break, and if everything breaks down, you just drop it off to him, he back there. Got that lazy Joe can't run on the court pass it. I know that was for the men right there. Y'all understand. But that only comes through practice. So you and your mate got to practice and talk to each other and communicate a whole lot Can you work together through some simple stuff? Like which bill we want to pay first? See how the other one says that you learning about your mate. Understand? You learning about your mate. What you mean you want to pay the cable before we pay the mortgage? Yeah, I gotta watch my stuff. You done learned something about them then. Your value kind of, you need to work in this area. You're going to be on the slow break. Understand, but you got to go through the simple stuff to really understand how somebody thinks. You really got to understand. Some of you gotta know what brand of tissue paper they like the best. All this kind of stuff. But that comes with repetition and being and practicing over and over and over again until you learn and have some knowledge about your mate. You can, if you really know your mate, you know when they mad before they tell you they mad. And for some of us, you know they gonna be mad before you get home. I already know. When I get home, I already know. I left that soap out. And I already know. I'm just saying, that's living according to knowledge. That's it. But you live according to knowledge. You get this information not to destroy the team. That's right. You don't get this information to destroy the team. You get it to help the team.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. Let me ask this. Getting that information to help the team. Mm-hmm. Study your mate. Okay. Deal with your mate according to knowledge. How many of us have gotten the knowledge but have forgotten the knowledge? Have you ever been in school and studied for a test? And when you got ready to take the test, you thought you had the knowledge to pass the test. But when the test was presented, you had forgotten everything you studied. Therefore, you don't pass the test. James 1:23 says, anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in a mirror and after looking at himself goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. So sometimes, you can study your mate and then like, okay, you say you know me, but this adversity come, now you done forgot what you knew about me. You know what I'm saying, Pastor? Yeah. It's always, it's kind of like on our jobs when we take continuing education courses. Refreshers. So we have to constantly study. You constantly study, but at the same time, you constantly retaining. It ain't gonna do me no good to study her, and then when it's time for me to give her what I've studied, test time, I done forgot the knowledge. Forgot. Now I'm looking crazy. I should have known. There you go. Good example. Good example.
You should have known I don't like flowers, I like kids.
That's it. And you done bought me these roses up in here. No, I don't like no roses. That's right. I forgot you didn't like no roses.
Take notes if you got to write it down, write it down.
What you got to do?
But being very, very attentive to your spouse. Being very. I'm going to take a little quick poll. How many of you feel like you're very attentive to your spouse? Let all y'all raise my hand. I didn't raise my hand. I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like I can be more attentive. I am attentive, but I do feel like I can be even more attentive.
Oh, how you do?
Are attentive, yes. I think I let fall short. I think I let a lot of life kind of. So many. Anybody else? A lot of life. I ain't saying I'm terrible now. I don't make no F.
And you fast.
I think I'm like a high C.
Okay.
I'm at a high C. No, I ain't plugging. I know I ain't plugging.
Look at that.
You see what you see, but I know what that look is.
Because according to knowledge.
I don't do it with according to knowledge. Man, don't turn around for the test. I got that answer, but Amen. So teammates. If a teammate go down and practice, you stop practicing. You're concerned.
That's right.
You're concerned. You're concerned. A teammate is concerned, highly concerned. Now, something happened to your roommate, like, okay, if that's something you ain't gonna have to be able to go to work.
Let me know.
That is Instead of keep.
We can be a little more compassionate.
I'm just saying, oh man, that's terrible. I think you're gonna be back at work Monday.
Yeah, I ain't know the 30th coming up now.
Concerned about one another, where you're going, what you're doing. And a lot of men might see some of that as nagging, but guess what? If you got a good wife, you're concerned about where you are. You're concerned about what you do. Okay? And you should be concerned about where she is and what she's doing. I'm going to tell you what I did, so I'll never do it again. If I had have known, okay, when I got my truck, I got it out of Georgia. And I did everything online, saw the pictures online, but there's no way for me to sign the paperwork unless I went to Georgia. And I could have had it shipped too. I could have got all that, but I had to be there to sign some papers, so I had to go. So I said, okay, it's just me. And this, I've never done this. Please don't judge me. Don't judge me, think I'm this or that. I just never done this. I've never been on a Trailways bus. No, I'm just okay. So don't judge me. Either way. Like you snoozing. No, I ain't. I just never, So I said, okay, I'm gonna take a Trailways there. The guys from the dealership, he says it's like a mile down the road from us. I can pick you up, and then I can drive it back. Cool. Tell my wife about it. I said, this is what I'm going to get, She said, I want to go with you. I'm like, cool. See, I'm thinking Trailways is like Charles. So I said, okay, plus it's dirt cheap Trailways. We're going right to Georgia, not expensive. Okay, it was, both of us was like 40-something dollars. Okay, that's sure. We can get together. We like on a charter bus that we went to Detroit, stuff like that with the TVs and all this stuff. I'm like, cool, this will be a nice little ride. It wasn't that. It wasn't the stops was the problem. It was the atmosphere. The atmosphere was not, put it like this. If it was just me, I'd been cool. Understand? Don't judge me, Facebook. Don't judge me. If it was just me, no problem. But I had my wife with me. That changed the whole game. I was in full husband protection mode. Full husband protection mode. Because it was a lot of suspect individuals. And in one stop in Atlanta or whatever, there was a crackhead fight going on outside. And one got knocked out the other. I was like, and I'm serious, I was just concerned about my wife. If it was me alone, I ain't had no problem. I would have took a nap. But it was a situation I felt very uncomfortable having my wife with me. And that's something I'll never do again. I would take Trailways again in a heartbeat. But I was in full, man, I was in full husband protection mode at that point. Making sure that ain't nobody finna touch my honey, don't you know? So according to knowledge, and that she knows, I don't think she's gonna go with me again on that. I'm a highly protective person. She'll tell you that. I am highly protective of my wife, okay? And I was highly concerned. So something could have jumped off, and then I would have felt real guilty because if I'd have known the atmosphere was like this, I would have told you no.